Hey guys, I'm back. Okay, I have to watch the time on these videos. Sometimes the time gets away from me. Okay, so again, log base b of x equals y. That's logarithmic form. Exponent form of the same statement would be you would lose the word log, the base would swing over, push the exponent up into exponent position, and you are saying, of course, that 3 squared equals 9. And this is our block, this is our base, this is our exponent. Okay, we're going to toggle back and forth between exponent form and log form of these various expressions. Okay, I want you to get comfortable with that because it's really going to come into play when we solve these. And if it's in one form and it's not working for you, then you can flip it to another form. So it would be log form to exponent form, etc. Okay, so here's log form. Here's exponent form. Okay, and we're going to know how to go back and forth between the two. Okay, so I'm going to we're going to practice both ways. Okay, just remember, it's all based on a base, an exponent, and a block. All right, so let's just start with this one. Let's start with log base 8 of 512 equal to 3. Okay, we're going to rewrite that in exponent form. This is my base, this is my block, this is my exponent. All right, so in order to get it in exponent form, you're going to lose the word log. Base comes over and punches that guy up into exponent form. Block will be all by herself on the left is equal to 8 to the third. Okay? Those are the same statement. One is in log form, one is in exponent form. All right, let's try another one. Log base 5 of 625, and I'm accentuating the word so you'll know how to say it properly, equals 4. All right, in exponent form, we're going to lose the word log, and we're going to push our base to the right, and our exponent goes up to his position, and so now you have 625 is equal to 5 to the 4th power. All right, now let's go backwards. Let's start with one here. All right, now you're going to notice that Miss Smith does something okay, let's say this is your given example. All right, so this is given to you, and we're going to put it in log form. Miss Smith likes her block. So there's my block, because the block will always be alone in the exponent form. And this is my base, and this is my exponent. I like to turn it around, but you don't have to do that, as long as you identify what's what. Okay, so now we're going to put this in log form, which means the word log is going to be presented first. My base becomes a subscript. Well, this is my base. Okay, that's my block. She will be next. Okay, is equal to, and once we remove my base and move him over here, my exponent has nowhere to hang on to, so he just drops back down to the floor. So this is the logarithmic expression or log form of this exponent form. All right, let's do another one. All right, let's take a look at, I'm sorry, I lost my place. Give me a second. All right, let's look at this one. 16 to the 3/4 is equal to 8. Okay, so then I'm going to say, all right, this is my base, this is my exponent, this is my block. I'm going to turn that around first. I'm going to have my block over here, my base, and then my exponent. All right, in log form, we're simply going to add the word log. Subscript base, well, my base is 16, my block is 8, and then my exponent is 3/4. So basically you are saying if you take the 4th root of 16 and raise that to the 3rd power, remember it's a rational exponent, then you're going to get 8. All right, so here's the log form of that exact statement. All right, those are rewrites. Okay, that's just rewriting. So your instructions, if it tells you to rewrite, that's all you're doing. You're just rewriting. Okay, you're getting everything from one and putting in the other form. You're either going to go from log to exponent or exponent to log. And now you know all the body parts. Base, block, and the exponent. Okay, so I'm going to pause just a second and I will pick up with another skill. Hold on just a second. Okay, the next skill we're going to work on here, and again we're in chapter 7.3, and we're just learning about logs. Remember, if we're talking about graphing, I want you to just put them in your calculator, okay? I'm not spending much time on graphing. So you have a calculator, you have a log button, and you know, just don't worry about graphing these right now, okay? Just don't worry about graphing them. Because some calculators have, the newer ones have where you can put in something other than a base 10 log. Your calculator is wired as a base 10 only, except for the newer versions where you can put in something other than a base 10. So right now, everybody, just don't worry about graphing, okay? I got to pick my battles here. All right, so let's talk about evaluating. Well, the root word is value, okay? So we're going to come up with a value. In a logarithmic expression, you know that's going to be the exponent that raises our base to equal our block, okay? So for example, let's say I say evaluate, and these are called rexes, remember? These are remote examples. Okay, I know it's a goofy name, but I had to do something. All right, I was bored. Remote examples. All right, so rex number 1 for evaluating. Okay, let's just say, it'll say this. It will literally say evaluate the expression. All right, remember, you're just telling me the exponent that we need to have our base match our block. That's the equivalent. All right, so let's say this. Log base 3, and there's my block, 1/9 equals what? Okay, that's what we're finding, this value here. Well, all you're saying is, okay, to what, you could rewrite it if you wanted and say, okay, there's my block, my base could come over, and basically you're asking yourself, to what power must I raise this base of 3 to equal 1/9? All right, well, if you're not sure, and you guys are going to get good at this, but you could say, you know what, remember that same base thing that Ms. Smith taught us? If I'm not sure what this is, then I can just rewrite this and say, okay, 1/9 is rewritten. Let me just put a box around this and bring it over here. Okay, you could say, you know what, I know that that is 1/3 squared equal to 3 to the whatever. Remember, we're solving for this value here. Then you could say, oh, I can bring him upstairs, make him 3 to the -2. Well, guess what? The bases are the same, so now you know that the answer, or the value, I'm sorry that's so messy, is -2. So the value of this logarithm is -2, because 3 to the -2 power would give you 1/9. This part right here, you're probably not going to have to write out much, because you guys know how negative exponents work now. All right, let's look at another one, rex number 2. And again, we're talking about evaluate. Okay, root word being value. All right, let's look at another one. How about this one? Log base 4. Block is 1/64. Okay, well, you know that your main number's downstairs, so you know you're going to need a negative exponent. So you just have to say to yourself, okay, this is what I'm evaluating. All right, in your mind, you're saying, you know what, I could put it in exponent form and say 1/64 is equal to 4 to the whatever. Then you could say, well, I know that this is equivalent to 4 to the -3 is equal to 4 to the blank. Well, these two, because the bases are the same, you know that the value, the evaluation of this statement is going to be -3, because 4 to the -3 power is going to give you 1/64. All right, so let's try another one. Now remember, you can pause and rewind these. That's the beauty of these, okay? Rex number, and I've only got a couple more minutes on this timing, so I think this is going to cover it. Rex number 3, we're going to evaluate log base 8 of 512 equals blank. Remember, you're asking yourself, to what power must I raise 8 to equal my block 512? This is what you're asking yourself. All right, so you can say, okay, well, I know if I want to put it in exponent form, I could say 512 is equal to 8 to the what power? All right, well, in this case, you would say 3. So the answer to this problem is 3. You're evaluating it. Okay, so I'm recording, my recording time is almost up. You all have an assignment posted on the portal. I want you to do all of the problems, okay? All of the problems, and all of them involve this kind of thing. Now remember, let's do one more of these. Let's say log base 6 1 equals blank. Well, if we're evaluating this, you're saying to what power must I raise this base to equal 1? Well, there's only one power that's going to give you 1 as an answer. You could say, okay, 1 is equal to my base 6 raised to whatever. Well, you guys already know that there's only one power or one exponent that's going to produce that, and that's 0. So the value of this logarithmic expression would be 0, because 6 to the 0 would equal 1. Remember, it's this base raised to this exponent that's going to result in that Brock value. Okay, that's the end of this video set. I want you to work on those assignments that are posted, and make sure you use your TurboScan or Tiny Scanner or whatever app you've used to convert to PDFs before you submit them to me in my email. Thanks so much, guys. Next lesson will be up soon.